The whole thing of enlightenment is just well-being. I see it, right? It's something you see. It's like, look up in the sky and you go, that goes on forever. What does that mean? Like, oh yeah, the universe is this big. Yeah, but what's outside of that? Maharishi explained it very clearly before I even learned to meditate. I thought, okay, this guy's laying it out. He's just not, oh, it's, the great void and very abstract things. It was very concrete how he laid it out. When Gurudev came out after all those years in silence, he brought that silence to the world because they just finished World War II, right? And there was a lot of non-silence. And Maharishi was talking about it back then, how the world is just too noisy, needs the silence. And now look at it. It's like 10 times the noise that it was when he came out. So you even need it more, because I don't think the human nervous system can really cope with what's going on. And it's very evident people can't cope with it, especially the young people. It's almost like they're, a lot of them, it's just hopeless. There's a lot of things that need giving in the world, right? Here you have the experience of unboundedness, and you actually, it's real. You become unbounded inside, not big or small. It's just like this ocean of consciousness. It's consciousness. It's this moving ocean of unboundedness, and it's like, okay, now I know what it means. Maharishi is, like he's talked all the time about the purity, right, of the teaching. So like even when he's talking, Shankar died when he was 20. And meanwhile, he wrote all, he was just there. His mission was just to revive the whole thing, because Buddhism had come to India. And Buddhism was fine, but Buddha really didn't know how he got enlightened. He was just so pure of a person that he dropped into it, so he thinks that's what you do, right? And Maharishi said the difference between a master and an enlightened person is quite significant, because the enlightened person, who comes from that tradition, the Vedic tradition, you get like a big job interview, right? And you have to be able not only to be intellectual about it, but you have to show that, and you have to have all these qualities, and enough people that are close to that state or in that state can tell if you're talking. So he was like the king of kings, right? And then Maharishi, the same thing. Maharishi, if you look at Maharishi when he's with Gurudev, he's just so blissed out. That's how he became enlightened. There's two different ways. You can be devoted to the master, right? And all the other guys are so intense around him. You see him with Gurudev, and there's Maharishi just sitting, and he's just like bliss. And when you see him in person, right, it's just like pools of bliss. So to me, the World Peace House, the idea is to let people have the experience again, and then stimulating that coherence in the whole world. I want people to remember who they are and get that feeling again. If you have the technology, you just have to do it. I've grown more in the last 5 years than I have in 45 years of meditation. And it's just unbelievable, the difference just a little group does. It's very powerful. The pundits are going to be the savers of the whole thing, because we need to get 10,000 of those. And it's a benefit to everyone, because this is just stupid, and I see the waste of, not just lives, but just the waste of money. It's a cycle, right? Karma is a cycle, and that's what, the Buddhists talk, we got to break the cycle. So the only way you break it is become a better and better person, so you don't create that for your next time, right? You don't bring the wrong baggage back. So even if you don't become enlightened this lifetime, you're on the way to becoming a better person. And that's when you do the puja, like the start of the puja. It says, whether pure or impure, whoever opens himself to the unbounded awareness gains inner and outer purity. So it doesn't matter who you are. Everything that happens to you is your karma, good or bad. So everything that happens to you, you're responsible for, and that just freaks people out.